We are gathered today in native space and on the traditional lands of the Massachusett Tribe. I am here speaking as a member of the Massachusett Tribe at Ponkapoag. When indigenous communities in the United States gather, they traditionally acknowledge and honor the ancestral holders of the land they are meeting on. I am here today because the Harvard Chan Dean's Office has taken the important step of incorporating this acknowledgement of native land and peoples into the Convocation activities. For this, I sincerely thank the school for its leadership. Many people find it hard to imagine an urban environment as native space. But what does it mean to be in native space? For thousands of years, my people have been a part of this place. We belong to this place, and alterations to the landscape cannot change this. Here is where we laughed, cried, loved, made music, practiced our beliefs, shared both food and knowledge, and made both useful and sacred things. Here is where we raised our children and buried and honored our dead. Here is where we interacted with people who came from across the oceans. These interactions brought new things, new tensions, new ideas, new challenges. Here is where some of the visitors brought diseases that killed most of our people, leaving those who were left behind bereft. Here is where those of us who survived remained and continued to make our lives. Here is where English colonists began their conquest of the continent. Here is where our relationships with the colonists were built, destroyed, and built again. Some of these relationships were friendly and beneficial. Others were fraught with conflict, sadness, and loss. Here is where the state of Massachusetts retains the name of the people who have always lived here. We all invoke and acknowledge native space each time we see, hear, say, or write the name of the Commonwealth of Massachusetts. It was in native space that Harvard University began its long history. Harvard was founded with a charter that committed to the education of both English and Indian youth. Here is where knowledge and expertise were exchanged between native and English students. Here is where we learned each other's languages. Here is where the Bible was translated by native peoples into the Massachusetts language and then printed at Harvard's Indian College as the first book printed on the first printing press in North America. Here is where we used our literacy and knowledge to advocate for our people. And here is where the language of our ancestors was lost. Here is where those who came to live among us saw land, resources, and sometimes people as commodities. Here is where we maintained, sometimes in secret, our commitment to our own values and beliefs about the nature of the world, the land, resources, and people. Here is where we made alliances, intermarried, and made new communities with people from other native communities and with those from other cultures. Here is where we continue to make our lives. Here is where we laugh, cry, love, make music, practice our beliefs, share food and knowledge, and make useful and sacred things. Here is where we raise our children and honor and bury our dead. Honoring the land means honoring everything that we are part of. It acknowledges our inseparable connectedness with everything else in the world. It acknowledges that all we do has an effect on everything else. So I honor all of the directions. I honor the land. I honor the water. I honor the sky. I honor the sun, the moon, and the stars. I honor all living things that share this space with us. I honor the ancestors that came before me and those who will come after me. I honor everything that now lives with respect within this space. The honoring of native land may be new to you, and it's only a very small part of this event. But I ask you to remember that wherever you are in the Americas, you are in native space, and that there are indigenous people who belong to that place. May all we do in native spaces both honor the land and prepare the way for all of those to come. Thank you.